thank you so much for keeping it right here on Mana TV TV5. This is Vani with you. So excited to bring you another episode of United Voice of Women. And you know what is really so exciting about today? As you can see, I'm in the same outfit that you saw me last week. And yes, there is a reason for it. Because we actually could not get the entire journey of Archana Joglekar in one episode. So we decided we'll make it a 2-episode event, and it is going to be as grand as the first one was. I mean, her sensitivities and her courage and her confidence and her clarity in life is so beautiful that I think that she is a million times more beautiful inside her heart. So I think without any further ado, we should get in and catch up with our conversation from last week. But before I go, hey, you remember, this episode is brought to you once again by KANKATALA Silks. And as you know, KANKATALA Silks is all about treating and dressing their women like a queen. And they also deliver to your doorstep. So you definitely want to log on to kankatala.com. Hey, welcome back everybody. Yes, this is of course Vani with you with United Voice of Women, and as you know, this is the very first time on this platform of United Voice of Women that we actually had to make 2 episodes, okay, with one friend of ours, one guest on this platform. And I am ever so grateful and thankful to Archana, for giving us such a beautiful journey that she's sharing with us that we had to continue. And this topic that we are discussing today about marriage, wow. Amazing. While we're talking about this, actually, Archana, something that you said, you said in mid-30s, you were actually at your peak of your career, and at that time you were even making up your mind that, do you want to get married or not, and things like that. So I suddenly thought that was a very important point, because do you think because you were given the time to get to a particular age and time when you were ready to want to think about it?
Yeah, it was my decision to get married. Obviously. Amazing. I mean, because my parents, obviously being the orthodox, conservative, typical
not just
parents.
Anybody's at that time marrying in 30 is too late.
And but my career was going so strong, and I was such a headstrong, independent career person. I don't think my parents had a much choice or any
But that's amazing.
Say.
But you know that was not normal.
Yeah, no way.
That was not normal.
I mean, by then I already had my own home bought from my own money. And though I was using that more like my production office, because I was producing serials and everything. But most of the times I used to be hanging around over there. And I still remember a very interesting conversation with me and a couple of my other friends, dancers who were dancers. They were all married. And so why do we want to get married? Okay, so there were some very funny jokes also on the internet once, shared by women jokes and all that.
At that time?
No, मैं अभी की बात कर रही हूँ. Okay, but it was that kind. So why you want to get married? Okay, then one thought thrown in, what? To have legal sex. Okay, that was one. So we can legally have sex.
Okay.
I said, okay. And what is another more motivating factor? Okay, so then they said, because my main factor was that I felt, by then I had realized that I had some wonderful God gifts inside me.
Of course.
And I felt that this bloodline has to continue and that should be passed on. So I need to have a baby of my own. Okay. So, so that was the discussion. Okay. So I said, no, you want to have a baby. So, but then for that, why you need to get married? Oh. So that was another thought.
You even thought that?
So why not? Yeah. So why not have a sperm donor? Okay, have a sperm donor. But I said that who knows what is the source? वो sperm किसका है?
But ये sperm donor के बारे में कैसे पता आपको? At that time,
of course, अरे इतना जंगल बुक में थोड़ी रहते थे.
Which year are you talking
about? This is I'm talking about 90s? What 90s ना?
Yeah.
हाँ तो.
Look at me.
Late
I was like totally dumb.
Late 90s की बात कर रही हूँ मैं. Late 90s.
Totally dumb.
1999.
At that time.
You probably were younger.
Not much, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was thinking of those. Okay, so sperm donor.
Just 20.
But sperm donor, वो किसका sperm में कैसे पता चलेगा? Okay, and then I mean, I'm talking about my bloodline, and you know, passing on something so precious to my baby. और उसमें दूसरा कचरा आया तो पूरा तो फालूदा हो जाएगा ना? Equation बदल गया तो है कि नहीं? वो मेरे से ज़्यादा उधर वो sperm के ऊपर गया तो गया ना? So it means it is very important that I need to know whose sperm is that, right?
This is the part of you that the world really needed to know. I'm telling you, God, you're something.
So I mean, between three women, we were having this discussion.
Okay.
So I said, okay, so we need to know whose sperm is that. So it means we need to know the donor. And normally they don't let you know the donor.
Where did you read all this? We didn't have those many TV channels and stuff like that in 90s.
No, I think we were educated enough. I mean, come on, I'm a law graduate too. I'm a commerce graduate, I'm a law graduate.
You didn't talk about it?
No, we never went there.
Okay. So you're a law graduate as well?
Yes, I'm a law graduate too. I was actually assisting one of the senior advocate at that time, though I attended just a couple of cases. But it was so hilarious because I already had made my name as an actress and I was in all the tabloids and all the front page of all the Bollywood magazines and covers and everything. So imagine such personality attending a court as assistant to the lawyer. And I mean, I used to call him uncle, my senior advocate, and he was a very fierce lawyer, mainly in the company law and all that territory. And I still remember attending a couple of cases in the.
Where did that passion come from? Thinking that you want to be a lawyer?
I always wanted to study law.
Wow.
And
now I know the way you're fighting your case here about motherhood, etc., etc. Okay,
I'm not fighting. I'm just making my point here.
But yeah. You know what? It's a very beautiful point. But the way you're making it,
yes,
you know, like that.
Yeah, actually, my Nanaji was also a barrister at that time. But he was a businessman also. My Nana was what you call industrialist.
You got all genes from everybody
everywhere
in your family. Okay, but let's go back to your sperm donor.
Yes, that's interesting.
Very interested in knowing somebody like you. Itni bholi bhali. Right? I mean, I don't know. Nobody knows this part of you. Maybe I don't know.
Say I wouldn't.
A classical dancer, first of all, is already considered very pious, conservative, pious girl, right?
No, I believe.
Kathak and all,
what is piousness? I mean, I'm not hypocrite.
No.
I believe in purity of your soul.
Beautiful.
Purity of your mind.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
No. That's why I'm getting there.
Okay.
You know that the word pious is like word love is most abused one. So is pious. You know, just by making a modern hairstyle doesn't make you modern.
Very true.
You should be modern here. You should be modern here.
So true.
You know,
100%.
So I mean, that's what when I said that when I was discussing. So I had such very rational, analytical discussion with my friends. Who were married.
Yes.
And
so this is all your the way you were brought up. Basically,
yeah, and
right? You were brought up to be, you know, open to have your own individual opinion about things.
My parents never stopped us from, you know, having our own mind and, you know, growing in any direction of knowledge that we wanted to.
Yes.
You know, and when I said that when we were having this sperm donor discussion, I said,
Yes.
then finally the whole discussion went in the direction, but when you can conceive naturally, why you want to go in the lab and conceive?
Is that what they said?
Yeah. So when you can conceive naturally, why you want to go in the lab? Okay.
course.
Now when you can conceive naturally, but then I said, I don't want my child to be called a bastard. I want him to have a proper dad's name, parental name, family name, and I want him to come in this world very gracefully, you know, very respectfully. So then that whole thing went back to the marriage. You know, I said, okay, so it means I need to get married.
But tell me, why didn't the most normal thought come to you that you should get married? Why you thought about a baby through all these things?
Because I had a very roaring career going at that time.
And
I was fiercely independent, and I wasn't sure that whether I want to or I will be able to commit my time to marriage. But at the same time, I could feel that I want to have my bloodline to be continued to the next generation into my baby.
That was very, very important to you.
Yeah. And when after all this brainstorming done, when eventually it again went back to the marriage, then finally I declared I'm open in the marriage market. And,
wow.
And then my mom,
They were surprised?
and my mom, she being my mom.
Uh-huh.
But see, many times, you know, not many times, at least in my case, my parents were not capable of handling a dynamite in their hand, you know, that they were holding. And she did one stupid thing of putting my portfolio or my profile on a typical marriage magazine. Now are the internet, shadi.com. But she put it in some very traditional conservative marriage magazine with my description and all that.
That was also very big at that time. Not everybody was doing
No, because that was the only way for my mom to find.
Because
she thought, because she said, I can't find a boy for this girl.
Correct.
You know, ye to dhajjiya uda degi. Matlab, because I remember once one boy came and his dad was a custom officer. And I mean, come on, I was a celebrity. I was already a heroine. I was, you know, working in lead roles and here and there. And the boy and the father sits and the father asked me that, can you cook? I said, yes, I can. Can he?
You were a rebel?
I was.
Wow.
I was
Where
downright a
did you
rebel.
get this from? You just had it in you?
Yeah, my grandparents were Krantikari, but but my mom was a rebel in a very dormant way.
Dormant way.
She was not the one to talk much, but she
But
would
she
do
did
what she
wanted.
She did what she wanted.
You're right.
But I was the one who would ask questions.
Ah.
Like for example, I remember typically in the classical field, you know, when you see a senior, you touch their feet and you show.
So you asked why we should?
I used to. I mean, of course, I always touch my mom's feet. I mean, even when I would go in the class, I would go and sit at her feet as if that was my throne. I used to keep my hands on her knees and right at her feet, you know, like that was my, you know, gaddi kind of thing. I would be always at her feet.
You're very close to your mom, right?
Yeah.
Crazily.
Yeah, I loved her and for what she was.
Everybody does, but you know, you were like...
No, my relationship with my mom was multi-layered.
Multi-layered.
It was not just
mom.
not mommy and daughter.
Teacher, what
Yes,
all,
it
right?
It was
your
multi-layered.
idol,
Yes.
a lot of things.
Multi-layered, and it's not like, I wouldn't say my idol, because I used to criticize her. I used to fight with her. I would ask questions to her, and no, I wanted to be the way I wanted to be.
But you know what? A lot of things you did what
You know?
she does.
Yeah, she did.
Basically.
Yeah.
You have incorporated all
वो
that.
तो ऊपर जाने के बाद भी she's trying to control me now still, you know. But that's okay. I respect that.
So sweet. Because it's deeply ingrained, I guess.
Absolutely.
Nothing you can do about it, right? That voice will come back at any given point of time.
It does.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Though my mommy is in India and me here, I still get it. Okay, I still get it. You know,
So
sometimes.
that bond is always there.
yeah.
I mean, even just the other day, one of our friend, he lost his mom, and I had texted him. I said that we never lose our parents. They
Yes.
always live within us.
Yes,
They're
yes,
always
very
with
true,
us.
very true, very
You know,
true.
it's wrong to say that you lost your parent. Huh?
Yes, yes.
He's
They're
or
not
she's
here
not there in the
anymore.
materialistic
Yes.
world, but their spirits are always with us. They're
I mean,
always
you know,
with
I
us.
never like to talk about my dad as not there. I
No,
can never say that.
no.
You know, somehow.
I talk to
from
my
the day
parents even
one,
to date.
I can't.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I always think that daddy always used to go on lots of tours.
Yeah.
Always daddy used to travel anywhere.
Yeah.
I feel this time just he went away somewhere that I don't know how to
No,
connect
but
with him
I
in
wouldn't-
terms of really call or something, but then I have my connection anyway.
Absolutely,
And I'm
absolutely.
happy about it.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
only way I'd like to think. He's just gone somewhere where I don't have the number to call him. That's about it. Or,
Yeah.
you know, I can't just go and see
I
him.
don't even feel that my parents are not there. They're very much there. They're very much in my home.
yes, yes.
And I talk to both of them.
I know what you mean, actually.
I talk to both of them. In fact,
That
they
is
are very
all
much in the
connection,
temple.
right?
uh,
That
with-
is all
yeah,
connection,
yeah, yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
They're-
And not everybody
they're-
is that fortunate, I think.
Yeah. No, I have a very strong connection with both of them.
Yes, yes,
With
me
both of
too.
them.
I mean, extremely, extremely. And I
Yeah.
just know that, and it'll always be the same for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they are just there around me still. Like you
Yeah.
said, in my head, even though
Yeah.
mommy is not here,
Yeah.
there are things that I'll think that no, she would not like it. If I did this, I might as well avoid it. you
No,
know,
no, it's-
though I know that I don't have to tell her or she will know
Yeah.
or anything in
Yeah.
my mind automatically.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it
just
is,
comes.
you know, it is your culture, it is your upbringing that maybe,
More than
you know.
anything else, I feel is your connection and how close you are to them. I
Yeah.
think because only then
Yeah.
it will stick so badly to you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there are things that
Yeah.
you know fly away.
No, no,
But
that's what I
anyway.
mean by, you know, that the children, I mean, you are not there with your own children all your life.
Yes.
But you have
That period.
inculcated something in them, the fundamentals and the foundations which
That
are
they
laid
carry
down.
you with them.
That is going to be with them.
Yes, yes.
So that's exactly
You
what
know
you're
what? Now
talking.
I'm just thinking that
Yeah.
maybe this whole thing about your child thing. Now I
Yeah.
can understand much better.
Yeah.
Because I think your focus has been that.
Yeah.
Even before you got married or
Yeah,
had
I
a
mean,
kid, I think the whole
It was a conscious decision. It was a very
huge
conscious decision.
and most important
Yeah, yeah,
decision
yeah.
for you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you need to have
People
a baby.
could not believe that at this, you know, stage of
Yes.
her career,
Yeah.
this
Where
girl
you
has
just have to
decided
take off, right? Yeah,
she,
yeah.
she has actually decided to get married, and then
That too, totally a
after-
different world.
going through thousands of marriage proposals, ripping off, you know, I say throw
Correct,
here
correct,
and there.
correct.
Finally, I end up zeroing down someone who doesn't even live in India.
Correct.
You know, I mean, our students wouldn't even choose a boy from Central Railway because our classes were on the Western Railway. You know,
And you
and me being
decided.
the most important, you know,
What was
person.
the reason why you selected this man?
Because I felt he was the guy for me.
What made you feel so?
Sixth sense.
That's it?
Yep,
Nothing else?
nothing. I mean, I still remember I met him at my concert. I was performing at one of the concert. Me and Shobha Mudgal, we were doing back-to-back concert. First half I was performing, second half Shobha was performing. And when I just entered the auditorium, this guy, he was one of the patron of that organization. And the organizers were standing there, and I was half in my makeup, you know, rushing to get ready and all that. And he said hi. I said, "Baad mein baat karte hain," you know. So later I came to know that he was standing there only to get an intro of me. And he had come down from US, and because he came to know that I'm performing there, and the organizers actually asked him that, "Hey, how come you're in India at this odd time of the year?" And he said, "No, I came here to attend my young brother's wedding." And he said, "Oh, your young brother's wedding. What about your wedding?" You know, he said, "I don't find a beautiful girl." He said, "Beautiful girl, okay, come over, we will introduce you to."
Wow.
And he was like, "Who?" And they took my name. He said, she's not going to meet me, you know, because I was a big celebrity at that time.
Exactly.
And they said, no, she's performing for our festival, so if you come over, we will
That's how
introduce
he
you to.
came?
So he was there, and I just brushed up, I'm getting, you know, baad mein baat karte, you know, let me get ready, because I don't like to distract my mind before my concert. My attention is completely on my performance. I'm always very focused.
Even now you did that.
Yeah,
As
always.
far as I remember, before your performance, you're
always.
totally.
I'm always
Yes.
into it. I don't like all the gibbering around and here and there. You know, every drop of my energy, my mind, my intellect is into that. So after my performance was done, which was, you know, I swept off, it was with a standing ovation and all that, and I was all drenched in sweat, and obviously my mom was there with me. And we came in the green room, and Shobhaji was trying to, you know, awaz garam kar rahi thi, you know, she was trying to get ready for her performance with Anish and everybody there. And then organizer, they again came in with this guy again. And this time, I mean, they're the couple, husband and wife. First the husband was standing, now the wife came in. And she said, Archana, I wanted to introduce you to this person. And my mom was trying to help me, you know, untie my kamar patta and all that. And he takes out his card, you know, and I see, you know, Dr. Nirmal More, PhD, President Nostrum. So I said, chalo, isko kuch to akal hai, matlab baat to kar sakti hu, intellect level kuch to hai.
It was important for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that was the first thing, PhD and president.
Okay. So
these were, because I was president of my company. I was a producer, I was a director. I mean, I was always the boss, you know. So I wanted someone who is at par with me and who wouldn't get intimidated with my persona or everything. He has to have his own world, you know. So intellectually, I felt probably this guy has it. I mean, if you go to see, he was not dressed in hep way. He was just wearing a simple bush shirt and pants, and
he's always like
Kolhapuri chappals. Okay, and but the eyes, deep, extremely intent, intelligent, and genuine eyes. Because that's what struck me. I had never seen such genuine eyes before. And I always see the eyes of the person first.
And everybody falls for your eyes first. Look at those hazel green eyes. I mean, where did you get them from?
From my mom.
From your mom. Yes, yes, yes. I saw your mom also saying, right? Yes. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. So you actually liked doctor's eyes.
Yes. I mean, the genuinity, the depth that was there. Believe it or not.
Right there you made up your mind?
Yes. And I mean, because and this guy would go on gibbering. He just started gibbering, and Shobha gave us, you know, khadus look, because she was getting disturbed. I mean, come on, वो गाना अपना तैयार कर रही है और ये बक 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 बक. मैंने कहा, hold on, let me first go change, and we can always come out and talk, you know. And then my mom came inside with me to help me change, and my mom was, वो लड़का लड़कियां देखने के लिए आया है इधर US से. And I said, जानती हूँ, उसकी आँखों से नहीं, बता दिया मुझे, you know.
Seriously?
I said, yeah, I can tell from his eyes, you know, that's why he's here. You know, he's searching for the bride. And then I changed, and we stepped out, and my mom said, you want to talk to him? I said, yeah, maybe I'll talk to him for a while. And then she said, okay, I'll move ahead, because we had another concert coming up, and she had already kept practices in the class. So after my concert, I was supposed to go in the academy and do the practices. Okay. And then she, being like a, you know, safeguarding mom, our sitar player who was there, she said, Zubair, idhar ruko, didi ke sath ruko.
Yeah, she wants to protect you.
Acha auntie, main rukta hu.
I know.
And then this guy, he starts gibbering, and so I said, so he said, no, I live in US.
So the doctor was gibbering, huh? He was not very comfortable talking to you at that time?
No. He gibbering in the sense, he was trying to strike a conversation with me, and he had managed to strike a conversation, and then he was asking for my number. You know, so can I have your number? And I gave him, at that time there were no cell phones. There were no cell phones.
No.
So I gave him my own home number. I mean, actually my production office number.
Yes.
And so I said, I'll give you my office number. So he thought that I'm trying to keep him at bay, but he was not knowing that I'm literally there whole day. You know, so I said, no, this is the number. I mean, you can call me on this number. I'll be available on this number. And then he said, you have my number. And I was in my mind, idiot, that's US number. Where is your Indian number? You know.
And you didn't ask?
I said, what about your India contact?
He said?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course.
And that time, because his parents, they live in a village, Sangameshwar, near Ratnagiri. And in Bombay, he always used to stay put with the Dandekar families, who are the owners of Camlin. You know, the Camlin, very renowned Camlin colors. They make colors.
Yeah, Camlin colors.
Camlin ink.
Yeah.
They have Camlin Pharma division also.
CAM, right?
Yeah, CAM.
I remember.
Camlin.
Huh.
So Camlin family had been like his second family.
Oh.
So he said, no, I'm staying with them. So I said, okay, so I'll call you. So he just gave me his number.
And tell me, how long did you take to decide and tell him?
We met, I mean, we spoke there right in front of the auditorium, barely for 10-15 minutes or whatever. And then he said, can I see you, when can I see you next? And I said, and that was 25th of January 1999 when this happened. I said, well, rest of the January, remaining next 5 days, I said, I'm shooting for Dheeraj Kumar for Om Shanti, Om Namah Shivaya. I was playing the Menaka. So I said, I have a shoot going on. Then February, this, and I have to attend as a chief guest here, then this. I said, 10th of February, is that good? He was like, I'll be back to US by then. So, of course. So he was not
giving your schedule to him.
I did not have any
opening. Huh.
So I said, okay, then maybe 2nd February, I said, evening I'm busy, maybe we can meet over, he said lunch, we can meet over lunch.
Okay.
So I said, okay, we can meet over lunch, you know. So finally it was decided to meet on 2nd of February, and so actually Camlin is in Andheri East, and we decided to meet at Leela Kempinski coffee shop for, you know, over the food. And after we met, he was passionately talking about his research work and everything, you know, and I was listening to the guy. I mean, honestly, all the pharma field was so alien to me at that time.
Totally.
I mean,
who knows about it?
diclofenac and all these names were like, you know, some insects for me, you know, or Russian or German for me.
I know.
But what I was seeing was
Passion?
a very brilliant scientist, a brilliant scientist who was deeply in his research. Not only that, he was also trying to get the funding, tie-up contract with different companies and all that. So his passion, and I was just listening to him. And believe me, that day on 25th of Jan, when from the auditorium, after speaking to this guy for 15-20 minutes, whatever time, I took my car and I was heading towards our dance class for practices. So did I have a cell phone at that time?
1999 maybe.
Yes, I did. I did have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And I remember I called my father. And I told him, no, there were no cell phones. So where did I call him from? But I called my father and I told him, Dad, I'm getting married. And he said, what? Who? Where? Who is the boy? You know?
Wow.
And I said, I just met him.
Wow.
And my dad was, who? Exactly. And I said, he was there. He said, oh yeah, I remember seeing that boy when I had gone to those organizers' home to deliver your photos for their souvenir. I think that was the boy who was sitting there. And then that was like a huge bomb blasted on my mom's head. When my mom came to know that I'm actually considering to marry this boy, and
she didn't like the idea?
No, she wanted to know more about that boy, and in the first place that her daughter chooses someone who is not even living in India.
Yeah.
She has no clue. I mean, who? From where this boy came? He just dropped from the thin air somewhere, and my daughter is saying that she wants to marry.
Wow.
And then when I said no, he said he stays with the Camlin family, the Dandekar family, you know, because we always knew him as Dada Dandekar, Rajni Dandekar, very popular, the head of the company, Subhash Dandekar actually, but we used to have very popularly known as Dada Dandekar, great connoisseur. My mom first picked up the phone and spoke
to him,
Dada Dandekar. And obviously he knew about my mom, and he was like, Ashati, and she said that this Dr. Nirmal More, he stays with you. He said, yeah, do you know him first? I know. He said, yes, of course, I know him. And she said, no, Archana was talking about him.
But just look, your parents didn't question you.
No, they first wanted to know who's the boy.
That's all they wanted to know.
Yeah,
But
because-
look at that confidence in you, actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
first they'll talk to the daughter and find out why you're saying yes and all that. They didn't tell anything
No,
to
no.
you. which
She
is
first wanted to know who is that boy.
Yeah, but I think because, that is all she thought she needs to know because that's all decisions you're making.
Yeah,
And
but
she's
she knew
totally-
how headstrong I was.
So she knows that.
Yeah. So the least she could do is at least find out who is
but
the
I
boy.
think it also is faith, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
faith.
when she spoke to Dada Dandekar, his first reaction was, Ashatai, your daughter has chosen an
Right.
excellent boy.
Aha.
He's brilliant.
He's a gem. Huh.
So the first vouching came from someone of that cadre.
Cadre. She needed that.
Yeah,
Somebody
I mean
big
that
to
too,
say
owner
that.
of Camlin Pharma, the
Correct,
president
correct,
of Camlin
correct,
Pharma,
correct.
coming from that cadre. And at the same time, it is interesting that I always believed in astrology. And I had studied astrology. My dad had studied astrology, though I knew very little. My dad knew little more. But one of my mamaji, who is not my saga mama, but he was more close to me than my saga mama. Brilliant astrologer. I mean, across the nation, across the world, people used to, professional astrologer who would write columns in the magazines and all that. And I would sit on his head and ask him any stupid questions, anything, any time of the life, any juncture, and he would be scaringly accurate in his answers. And when I was shooting, so 25th of January, I met this guy. So before my second meeting,
You actually called him?
I had got hold of his birth date.
Okay.
Okay. Before my second meeting, 2nd
You got
February,
his date and you went and
I
asked?
had my birth date, and over the phone I still remember from Film City, I called my Mamaji and I didn't tell him anything. I said, Mama,
about this guy."
I have just met one boy. That's it. Only one boy, not even name, nothing. I said, this is his birth date. बताओ मुझे. मैं ऐसे ही बोलती थी, मैं कुछ नहीं बताती थी. And he used to he would tell me everything. And he said, हाँ बेटा, just give me date time and birth date बता खाली.
Huh.
And I gave him the birth date. He didn't know even the name of the boy. He didn't know whether the boy that Indian है, Maharashtrian है, non-Maharashtrian है, कहाँ से आया है, दुनिया में कहाँ रहता, कुछ नहीं मालूम था. And he put down the whole horoscope. And he said, कल phone करता हूँ, give me time. And then second day when again I was shooting at Film City, he called me and he raved our combination. And so from that side I had got a go.
Okay.
And he said that I said, foremost, are we compatible? He said, yes. इतने fantastic gun match हो रहे.
अरे वाह.
Then I said, अच्छा मुझे कुछ बच्चे हो गए क्या? Because one of the reason why.
Main reason is that.
Then he was like, कितने चाहिए? Then I said, मतलब हो गए ना? I said, okay. Then my question was that if I'm marrying him, am I lucky for him? You know, मतलब मैं उसके life में जा रही हूँ, उससे उसका फालूदा तो नहीं होने वाला. I wanted to know
even that.
Yeah, I wanted to know that. Then he said, बेटा तुम एस्ट्रोलॉजी जानती हो. ओके, मैं बताता हूँ. उसका ये जो स्थान है जिसको हम लोग भारी आस्थान कहते हैं, जो कि पार्टनर का स्थान मतलब पत्नी का स्थान रहता है, उसकी भारी आस्थान में ही उसकी लक्ष्मी बैठी है. तो उसके तेरे पाँव से उसके लाइफ में लक्ष्मी आने वाली है.
क्या बात
और
है.
क्या चाहिए तेरे को, बोल.
कुछ नहीं चाहिए.
यू नो, I said, okay, नहीं तो वो तो उसका भला हो गया, मेरा क्या?
मेरा क्या?
I wanted to know that also.
That also. Okay.
It's not both. मतलब it's not just him. I said, what about me? I said, चलो उसका भला हो गया, मेरा क्या होगा, मेरा फालूदा. You know? He said, and he said, नहीं. He said, your kundli is more like a Swayambhu category kind of kundli.
What does that
And he
mean?
said, whether you get married, you don't get married, you have a boyfriend, you don't have a boyfriend, तेरा career graph ऐसा ही है. ऐसा भी नहीं. It is like this. So it's not going to make any difference to you. You are going to go like this.
Wherever you want to go. So how does it matter?
Yeah.
That's how you decided
And so 2nd February when I met this guy, I already knew
that he's going to be.
our compatibility and everything. मतलब मैं homework कर चुकी थी. मेरा homework था, ready था. You know, and now I wanted to know more about this guy. And then after seeing him there, listening to all his, then he was little disappointed. He was not in a great mood because he had gone to Chennai and he had a meeting with some pharma company, and things didn't fall in
out
place the way he was
wanted.
expecting. So he was talking about that. Then he said, well, would you like to come and see my lab? So because he was developing his products, the pharma products in the Camlin laboratory.
Oh, okay.
So
that's how that connection.
So because their son, Subhash Dandekar's son Ashish, is great friend of his, and they studied together at Temple University. Ashish was pursuing business, he was pursuing his pharma. So,
Okay.
and so that's how he started developing his research products in the Camlin pharma.
Because they already are set up like
Right.
that in India.
And so he said, would you like to come see my
Lab.
my lab? I said, yeah, why not? Sure.
Uh-huh.
So he said, wait a minute, let me call.
Okay.
So he called, because they have strict security at the gate. The security guards would stop every visitor and all that, check their IDs and everything. It was very strict over there. So he said, I'm coming, and I'm coming with Archana. Don't stop me at the gates. He wanted that, to be very grand entry
That you
in
just
the
go with
company
him.
campus and all that.
Yes.
So, which I was not knowing, he just called them and informed them, and because his friend Ashish was already there, who is the head of the pharma division over there.
it's good.
So Ashish was super excited.
That Archana
And
is
Mrs. Dandekar probably they already knew, because my mom had called.
Correct.
And looks like that he had earlier turned down many girls, and one of the girls, I don't want to name, but at that time she was a big time actress. Also, she was a big star. And he had turned her down, and after he came back home, when they asked that why you turned her down, he said, she's so dumb. I can't put up with a dumb girl. And they said, but you wanted a beautiful girl. He said, yeah, but she should be intelligent too. So he
had beauty and brains.
So he had turned her down. And that time when Rajni Dandekar, Mrs. Dandekar, when she came to know that he met me, she said, Nirmal,
This is the one.
if you say no to this girl, I'm going to throw you off from the 10th floor. Don't ever enter in our home again. So he was already
pressured
from the other side. But we never had that kind of conversation or talk at all.
Yes.
We had just met.
Yes.
And so from our that quick lunch meeting, we went to the lab.
Yes.
And at the gate,
all had to happen.
He at the gate, he immediately flashed his card, and I'm coming, and the Gurkha, the security officer, obviously he knew me by face, and he said, "Arey madam, आप क्या?" And he was like,
because
अगर मैं रोज आता हूँ फिर भी मेरा ID check करता है.
Exactly.
And because of her, I had called कि don't stop, I will have a guest. So before even asking who is the guest, he's acknowledging her.
Wow.
So it was a big ego, clash. And then when we went in the building, he was trying to introduce that she's our receptionist and the telephone operator, and the girl immediately said, "नहीं हम लोग जानते हैं मैडम का, hello madam, welcome." So it was a hilarious scene
For you, not for him.
And his ego was getting, bursted. I mean, every person is even smiling at me. First they're smiling her, everybody is welcoming her, being very sweet to her. Then he went to introduce me to the head of R&D, who was in charge of his entire research division. She was Dr. Kavita, and he said, I'm very scared of Kavita. Huh? This is Dr. Kavita. And she was like, Doctor, I know her before I knew you.
Wow.
So he was like, everybody knows her. Then he was like, he lived in a very small village. He comes from a very small village called Sangameshwar. So he said, Sangameshwar ka kala kutta bhi mujhe janta hai.
Oh my God.
So that was his way of knowing that there everybody knows me.
Did he say that actually?
He said that. I mean, he just muttered it, and I heard him, and then I could see his ego was getting busted. Then I just smiled at him and I said, doesn't matter, the whole world knows me, but I know you.
Wow.
Doesn't that matter?
You said that?
Yeah. I said, okay.
So doctor phas gaya?
Yeah. So the whole
right
world
there?
knows me, but I know you.
Wow.
So isn't that good enough?
That's
I said.
awesome, Archana.
So he left on 6th of February back to US, and on 5th evening we met at Jewel of India early and over the dinner. Actually, I had gone as a chief guest. Actually, me and Javed Jafri, we both were guests at ZZ College, Churchgate. and there was a fashion show and all that, and then I told him I don't have an open time. Okay, I'm there going as a chief guest, you be my guest.
How sweet.
And then from there finally we took a halt for dinner, and he said, so what else do you want to know about me? And because I already knew enough about him, I said, do you smoke? He said no. And he thought that was such a stupid question, but well, it was an important question for me. And so he said, what's your plan? I said, my plan is to get married, settle down, be a homemaker, and be a mommy. I said.
You said that.
And he said, oh, wow. Huh. And so, because I mean, from 2nd February, the day we met, second time, after that he was hanging around with me everywhere I was going, you know, and there was every possibility that tabloids would have written about us. Isn't it?
Yes.
At the same time, we did not brought up a topic of marriage at all. Okay, so it was very important for me to know the intentions of this person. Clear, you know. I mean, because I was not
doing this
some
for time pass.
16-year-old who is hanging around dating or something like that. I mean, I was a renowned celebrity with my head firmly placed on my shoulder.
Had you ever dated anybody else earlier?
No.
Never.
No.
You didn't have time for anything. No wonder you thought about
I was
sperm donors and all that. You know, if
no, I mean, I had many friends who are boys.
But that's different.
I still have many friends who are
that's
boys.
not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So it was very clearly you didn't have
no.
anything to do with anybody.
No. I was very clear
He's
in
the
my
first
head
guy
about
you let
it.
him
And
come with you.
Yeah, and I said that if so many people are seeing me, and you know, I mean, even if I was doing a dance direction for one drama for one of my director friend, and I was setting up all their things, and this guy was sitting there and, you know,
watching you.
And our art director, he said, Archana. I said, what? He said, I said, stop. I mean, he just my friend. He said, oh yeah, your friend. I mean, the whole world is saying, oh yeah, your friend. Well, I need to hear it from him that are you something more than that, or do you plan to be more than that?
So you went ahead and asked him, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so I asked him, when are we getting married? And he was drinking water. He almost threw water off. He said, I want to go to the rest.
You serious?
And he said, I have never met a girl so decisive in my life. I mean, I thought girls were bimbos, you know.
You said, when are we getting married?
Yeah. No, I said, when are we getting engaged? Or, yeah, when are we getting married? Yeah, not engaged. When are we getting married?
Wow. You're something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said, I think this is, he was almost stammering. He said, this is happening way too fast. I need time to think. I said, fine, perfectly fine. You know, and then next day he was flying out. I actually went to drop him at the airport. And
you were totally serious.
yeah, and I said, that's perfectly fine. I said, take your time, and even if you decide not to get married, that's fine. We will be friends.
Correct.
But I said, I don't meet my friends who are boys every day.
Correct.
And they don't hang around with me wherever I go.
Correct. Wow.
Okay. So I said, and then he was like, no, actually, I'm in love with a girl. Then I said, why are you seeing me? You know?
He said he's in love with her. Okay.
And I said, who is this girl? Then he said, no, she's an American girl. So I said, then you should be marrying her. You know, what happened? He said, no, we had a fight, and then now she's on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast. So I said, okay. So I said, you should call her, talk to her. Then he said, no, we haven't spoken for a while. I said, how long? So he said, almost for a year we haven't spoken. In my mind, I said, girlfriend, my foot.
I know.
You know?
Funny, he hasn't spoken.
Then I said, no problem. I said, go back home, take your time. I said, whatever you decide, this way or that way, doesn't matter. I said, let me know. But I said, I need to know. Because if you decide not to go this way, then I said, at least I'm clear in my head, and I can, you know, carry on with my life. I said, it's okay, cool.
Correct. Wow.
You know? So this guy goes back, and then actually the Joglekar families are so super excited.
Correct.
That Ashish calls me, and he said, hi. I said, yeah, hi. He said, did Nirmal call you? I said, no. He said, he has still not called you?
Oh my God.
I said, no, he hasn't called me yet. Okay, I'll check with him.
How long was it by then?
Probably 24 hours. Maybe a day was gone.
That is just too less of a time.
Yeah. But he was landed here, obviously.
Yes.
But obviously, he did not take into account the jet lag and all that. So he said, okay. And then he called him to US. And he probably blasted, what? You kept her waiting? This is what you said when you departed. You didn't say yes to her. Call her, tell her, yes. And this is that. He probably, as a brother, brotherly advice, he said this. And then finally he calls me from US and he said, hi. I said, hi. He said, Nirmal. I said, yeah.
I know.
So he said, well, you had asked me a question. I said, yeah. He said, well, the answer is yes.
Wow.
I said, what? He said, the answer is yes. And then by then, in my family, everybody was devastated with that thought.
Yeah.
And then our family doctor, a great physician, and everybody was like advising, me, my mom. Then Ashadi, no. These guys from US, they always have some affairs here and there. We don't know where he lives and what. First, find out about everything. You should go and see. And then at the same time, interestingly, in those 4 or 5 days when we met, he was actually trying to dissuade me from marrying him.
By telling you things that might not be in the best interest of him?
In the sense, no. He was trying to dissuade me from marrying him.
Yeah.
So he said, because he saw my celebrity status and everything, and he said, my God, I mean, you are a huge celebrity. And he could see that I have my own home over there. I mean, just for myself, I could maintain a chauffeur, a cook and everything. I mean, I had my own lifestyle over there.
Yes.
And he said, I don't have so much money. I live in a simple rental apartment and I have borrowed to the max limits of my credit cards, and I don't have money. You are a big celebrity.
Wow.
You should come and see my home. And I said, you borrowed to the max limits of your credit card, and what did you do with that money? You invested that money in your research work.
Correct.
It's not like you blew it on the striptease bars or something.
Correct.
So you have put that money in something that you believe in, and you are pursuing that. I said, well, as a producer, in 90s, I said, I had blown my 75 lakhs. My hard-earned money I had put in there.
Yes.
But then, hands down, I had established myself as a finest of the director. I got the awards for that. My serial was on the top 10 level. So I said, I did establish myself, and I had invested my money into something I believed in.
Yes.
So I said, what matters is, what did you do with that money? I said, you have invested that money in your research work.
Wow.
And I said, the only thing I told him, I said, I may sound very cliche, very filmy, but let me tell you how I am as a person, because we need to, tell each other about how we are as person. I said, even if you're lowest in your financial status, I said, I will hold your hand even stronger. I will not let it go. But I said only one line, remember, प्यार कभी कम ना करना सनम, हर कमी गवारा कर लेंगे.
Wow.
You
said
song?
that line?
Yes. I told him, I said,
Aww.
I can survive on that. I said, a man can make a woman feel like a queen even in a little hut.
So true.
But a man can make a woman feel like a beggar even in a palace.
Mansion, you're right. Very true.
So I said, come what may.
Very matured you are.
Don't let that happen. I said, I will hold your hand even stronger. And
because you have total confidence in your own self, right?
Yeah, and it was a completely different kind of a person. Probably he had never met a woman like that in his life.
Not many people will.
And
not too many people like you, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
and so now comes the funny part. So this guy calls me and says, yes. Now my family throws fits at me, and it so happened, it was a coincidence that 7th or 8th of February 1999, he tells me yes. On 13th of February, I was performing in Switzerland, in Bern.
Oh.
Okay, I had a concert and I was going only to Switzerland at that time. Luckily at that time, I had US visa. And when my doctor, our family doctor said, no, we need to find out where he stays and this and that and that and that.
You thought you want to go there?
I said, आधा तो जा ही रही हूँ, Europe तक जा ही रही हूँ. So I said, might as well go further ahead and see what he does. And it was completely unacceptable for the family that how can a girl just go on her own and go meet the boy.
Yeah.
And my elder brother, अच्छा तो फिर उधर ही शादी करके ही वापस आना. मैंने कहा क्यों शादी करूं, मैं मिलने जा रही हूँ उसको.
Exactly.
ऐसा उसको मिलने जा रही हूँ मतलब जरूरी थोड़ी है, नहीं पसंद आया नहीं करेंगे भाई, वापस आ जाएंगे.
Wow.
ये क्या बात हुई कि मुझे देखने का भी अवसर ना मिले. You know, so it was clearly my head, my mind, it was my life.
You pursued what you wanted.
Absolutely. And so I decided that I'll cut the ticket to US, and then I told him I'm coming to US, and he was like, huh? And then it so happened 13th of February I perform in Switzerland, and that too not in Zurich, in Bern. So from Zurich I have to travel to Bern for a couple of hours. Then 13th evening I perform, 14th morning I take a flight. So again from Bern I travel back to Zurich. I take a flight, so I almost didn't sleep at night. I was up for many hours, and then I finally land in JFK, and I had told him my flight time and everything, and before actually leaving Indian soil, over the phone I had told him that I'm coming to US. So he said, he was very happy, oh finally, and this and that. I said, wait, hold on, but I'm not marrying you. He said, what? Why? I said, what do you mean by why? You have not proposed to me. But I said yes. Yes क्या होता है? What is yes?
Wow. Okay.
What is yes? I mean, you had asked me a question. My answer is yes. ये क्या yes?
That's not a proposal.
Yeah. I said you did not propose to me. I said I had asked you very clearly. Did you come up that clearly?
Or not?
In words. And that's where my lawyer came handy.
Very true. Very true. He didn't know what he has.
No. I said, no, you have not proposed to me. I'm not marrying you. So he was like, what do you mean? You want me to go down on my knees and propose to you? I said, of course.
All this on the phone?
Over the phone. I said, I mean, I'm coming to US to see you, but that doesn't mean I'm marrying you.
Okay.
So it was made very clear.
It very clear.
Very clear.
Right from the beginning.
Yep. So 13th I perform in Switzerland, 14th I land, and at the same time I realized, 14th of February, it's a Valentine's
Day.
So I landed on the Valentine's Day, and this guy was not there at the airport.
Okay.
And I did not have any change to make a call, so I went to a newspaper stall at the airport, and he was an Asian guy, so he helped me out with the change, and he allowed me to call, and I called him on his number, and I said, I'm going back. And he said, what? You landed? I said, yeah. He said, no, you landed half an hour before time.
Oh,
so
okay.
I didn't know I had landed half an hour before time. He said, no, I'm on my
way. Okay, he's coming from New Jersey, poor guy.
No, at that time he lived on Long Beach, Long Island.
Oh, okay.
In New York.
Okay.
So it was a small rental studio apartment where he used to live. And I didn't know that after I said to him over the phone that I'm not going to marry him unless he proposes to me. There was a lot of preparation that had gone. And his finance advisor, who was also an Indian, actually a South Indian, his fiancée and his mom was also there, and they all really brainstormed on him. How can you be so stupid and this and that? And she's coming, you should prepare and this. And so they really made lots of elaborate plans.
For you.
Yes. And all, of course, staying behind the screen. And then this guy picks me up from JFK, and we come back home, and by then I'm completely washed out, performance and travel and this and that, no sleep or no proper rest at all, and I was like collapsing, because it was evening time, almost 6, 7 o'clock, and I said, now I'm sleeping, and he, no, you're not sleeping, we are going out for dinner.
Okay, because propose karna hai.
Because when we met in Jewel of India, Worli, that's when I first said, when are we getting married?
Correct.
So he had booked the table for Jewel of India, New York, Manhattan.
Wow.
And so there was a table booked, the menu booked, and everything done. And by then he knew that because he would call me almost every day till I went over there, and he knew I was fond of chocolates and all that. And after we had dinner and I was done with the dinner, and then he said, I've got chocolates for you. So I said, okay. And he took out a small box of Godiva, you know, it's with the ribbon and all that. He said, open. I said, no, that's okay. Ghar jaake khayenge. You know, abhi I'm done. I'm quite full. I said, I had dessert and all that. He said, no. Open the box.
Okay.
You know, and Godiva was a new name for me.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I knew our Cadbury's and all that. So I didn't know Godiva was a big brand over here.
Very
so
good.
he said, no, it's a very good chocolate brand.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, that's fine. I said, we can go
I'll
home
eat
and do
later.
this. He said, no, open it. So I opened the box, and inside the chocolate he had kept the ring. So there was a diamond ring in there.
That was a nice romantic
And then he was ready to go down on the knees right there in the restaurant.
Wow.
And I said, no, hold your horses. Let's go home and then you propose to me.
Wow, that is so sweet.
Yeah. So I made it a point that he proposes to me. So after marriage, when he started making statements, I don't know what hit me. And when I woke up one day, I was married. I said, oh yeah? Oh yeah? So because luckily we had a automatic camera. So it was just two of us. So we had placed the camera. And
you did
there
a
was
selfie with the camera?
No, at that time selfie wasn't there.
But you tried to
timer.
play selfie
No. There was a timer camera. And there was a nice picture of he proposing. And I had laminated those pictures and hung up on the wall. So when he would say that what happened to me, I don't know. I said, this is what happened. Okay? मैं रस्ते पड़ी हुई नहीं थी कि that I came in your life.
Yes.
You know?
Wow.
So I feel, I mean, as a woman, every woman or every person should uphold more than anybody else helping you in life. You should help yourself.
Wow.
And stand up for your own honor, for your own respect, and value your own self first for what you are.
Important.
You know?
So very important.
Yeah, I mean, why expect the world to fight your battle when you are not fighting it yourself?
Wow.
अपने आप को तुम ही नहीं मदद कर रहे हो, दुनिया क्यों
कौन
करे?
करेगा?
क्यों करे?
कैसे करेगा?
कैसे नहीं, क्यों करे?
So true.
When you are not helping yourself.
So true.
So that is what matters.
You know, even कैसे इसलिए कह रही हो क्योंकि there are so many people.
Yeah.
Even if somebody is trying to help them, they're not even ready to take your hand.
They don't even want to raise the finger.
Yeah, not even finger.
So it means they deserve to be in the situation where they are.
In because you're
Absolutely.
totally right. You're totally right. I always believe that. You know what? Take onus.
There has to be something coming from them.
You have to take onus on yourself, right?
Yes.
It's not as scary as it sounds. Isn't it?
So
it's actually
that's what I meant by the moral of my little story was that you have to help yourself.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, and you did it so beautifully.
Yes.
But tell me something. I know, so everything sounds right. Right? Then everything goes wrong, right? Johnny is big, but
anything goes wrong there. I feel every step taken in the life is for the betterment.
Of course.
And
not of course, I think that's the way to take it.
That's the way it should be. I just said that the most important line which sometimes partners forget about each other कि प्यार कभी कम ना करना.
कम ना करना. तुमने बोला था.
Yes.
You had actually said that.
Sometimes, you know, things don't happen that way.
Life.
And when you realize that staying together is not a joyous journey. Maybe staying separate is a joyous journey.
Correct.
You know, so that is the time you want to be upfront, you want to take a call on the situation. And I feel today we are wonderful friends as we were never before.
Wow.
And I'm so happy about it. And so is he so happy about it. So is my son. We are all very happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But tell me something, Archana. So what do you think is important in a marriage? When you said प्यार कभी कम मत करना,
Yeah.
right? How would you like to explain that?
As I said, to me, my honor, my respect matters. And if you feel that your partner is not respecting you, not acknowledging you, not loving you back, it should not be a one-way traffic. It should be always two-way.
Love means?
Yes, it has to be two-way. And if that two-way is not happening, if it is one-way, not just one way, but in return, forget about the love, but even the respect is not happening, even the acknowledgement is not happening. I mean, I was too fiercely independent and self-made
All
a
your
person.
life.
Yeah, to be treated in any other way than respect.
Respect.
And
So for you, the main
eventually
thing was that.
we feel that we are taking everything in our stride, but that starts taking a toll on your health.
Very much.
And your health, your well-being,
Your psyche.
that is the first thing you should pay attention to. So your well-being matters first.
So true.
So it was a decision of my well-being, you know.
Yes.
So it was required, and the end result is fantastic.
So true.
That's what I say, that we are wonderful friends.
Perfect, perfect. But you know, it's again now what you've told us, that little bit, it helps a lot in the sense that understand what is happening in your life,
Yes.
right?
To
Just don't blindly
analyze.
live it.
Analyze.
Don't
You should
blindly
always have
live
a
it.
third eye.
Yeah.
Looking at your own situation from a third eye. I mean, thankfully, I have that. I must say that
Not
that's one
everybody
of
is
the
blessed with that.
biggest quality that I have. That I can become neutral, all my emotions aside, and I can take a very neutral look to the whole situation, and take a call on it.
I think that is only a blessing, Archana, because I see myself like that. I never ever emotionally involve myself when something's not right.
Yes.
I'll
yes.
involve myself when it is nice.
Correct.
Completely emotionally.
Correct.
But when it is
Yeah.
not nice, I'll keep the emotional part away
Yeah.
and want to just look at it for what it is.
Yes.
And I decide whether I want to make peace with it
Yeah.
or I want to
No, no,
fight
see,
it.
make
or
peace
what you
means
want
what?
to do. It can be anything. I'm
No,
not
no.
just talking about
What is
this.
important is make peace at what cost.
Cost, exactly.
What are the compromises?
Yeah.
If compromises are trivial, it really doesn't matter. मतलब मैं इस कुर्सी पे बैठने के बजाय अगर मुझे उस कुर्सी पे बैठना पड़े,
Who cares?
fine.
Yeah, it's
It
absolutely
doesn't make
fine.
any
Yes,
difference
yes.
to me.
But यहाँ नहीं वहाँ बैठना है तो not good.
That
या वहाँ
makes
नहीं
difference.
यहाँ बैठना है तो not good.
That makes difference.
Yes, yes. No, totally. I'm
know?
saying any decision
Yes.
in life,
Yes.
you know, I thought that was a
Yes.
big blessing.
Yes.
Not everybody has it,
Yes.
Archana. You know, so people
Yeah.
do not find it as easy. You
Right.
know, to tell
Right.
if you say keep your emotional
Yes.
side away,
Yeah.
it is very difficult
Yeah.
because whenever things go wrong, the first thing that happens to
Yeah.
everybody is they get totally emotionally in a
Yeah.
turmoil.
But and at the same time, I must say that despite of all kind of non-supportive behavior on the part of my partner, my behavior never changed, or my unconditional support never changed. I was always there, 100%, full.
You know, anybody,
Over
a
there.
confident person.
Otherwise
Will be
I
the
see,
same,
no,
I
I have seen women withdrawing, being bitter,
Yes.
being nasty,
Yes, totally.
picking up fights, or not supporting. And here is my partner, when I can see his meteoric rise in his field, in the pharma field.
Really, really high.
Oh, yeah. I mean, big time high.
He really reached the zenith, huh?
Yes.
Pinnacle.
I mean, he has more than 25 patented technologies to his credit, when there were none when we got married.
Correct.
His first ever biggest loan he got from the bank was because of me. His first ever contract he signed was because of me. I was substantially instrumental in making these things happen.
Happen for him.
Yes, it did happen.
Not
for
just
him.
emotionally, but financially and
Every way,
socially,
every way.
Wow.
I mean, when his loan was completely falling apart, and when he actually called me when we were in US, and he said, just call that officer and blast him off. I don't want their loan. Go to hell, blah, blah, blah. And this was in India, I mean, from the Indian bank. And he was one of the biggest officer, in whose hand was all the loan. And this was from US. He was in New York, and we had by then shifted to New Jersey. And he said, call and blast him off. And this was our 10:30 morning time. So it was their evening time, or maybe our noon time. And I picked up the phone and I called him, and he also happened to had the same last name as Nirmal's, Mule. And I said, hello, and he was like, yes. And I said, this is Archana Joglekar speaking. Oh, you know.
Of course.
So he had very pleasantries,
Of
interactions with me and all that. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm calling you at such. No. Tell me, how can I help you?
Yes.
I said, let me tell you, I have my accounts with your bank. And I said, when I was a little baby, my dad took me to this branch. He said, oh yeah, that's a very big branch. I said, let me tell you, my account number stands just in 2 digits. I was the first day customer of your bank.
Are you kidding me?
So I started on a very good footing. I said,
Yes,
all the
yes.
family is having account with your bank. He said, oh, that's such a nice to know. So is there any way I can help you? I said, now let me introduce you one more way. I'm Mrs. Dr. Nirmal Modi. It was like, oh.
Everything changes.
Huh? I said, now,
Yeah.
let me tell you something which you don't know. I said, I'm here. I'm listening to all his developments, his products, and everything he's doing. I said, the loan which he's asking is peanuts compared to what he's going to make out of it.
Wow.
I
He
said,
had so much confidence, right? in him?
yes. I said, he's asking for a few crores here. And I said, if this product comes in the market, I said, he's going to make few millions every month. Every month. Month.
Wow.
I said, if you ask me, and they were asking for more collateral security. Typical banks, you know, they keep digging you more and more for more collateral securities. He had actually done everything, but then he was finally giving up. So I said, if you ask me, I said, with all my knowledge of commerce, as a commerce graduate, as a law graduate, and as his wife, who is continuously listening to his every word of conversation he's having with everybody, including FDA, I said, this is the best client you have on hand. Don't lose him. I said, it will go long term. And this was his night time when my partner was all hell-bent upon blowing away that go to hell, I don't want this, I will manage. Next day morning, the entire team of the bank went to their lab with the ready sanction papers in hand. Wow. This was the result of my phone call. So I'm not saying just like that, like I was instrumental.
No.
Not
You
just
really,
like
really were.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Wow.
I know him in and out as a human being. You know, and I know what is the surface, what is the inner, his inner core, how beautiful it is. But what are the downsides? You know, obviously, I know.
Clarity.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yes.
Right? Life is so easy when you see what it is. Right? We actually most of the times close our eyes. Right? Fear. Right?
No, I'm not afraid of anything.
No, I'm saying people have some, I don't know what fear it is, that people don't really want to look at reality. They would rather put up with all kinds of...
Mine is exactly reverse.
Mine too.
I like to go face the truth. That makes your life easy.
I tell myself always, brutally honest is my word for myself.
Yes.
Brutally.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because I know once I'm brutally honest with myself about a particular thing, I know the nuts and bolts of the entire thing.
Yes.
Then I'll decide what I want to do with it and be done with it and move on.
Right.
I cannot carry a single thing.
And coming back to my point of spums, I chose the best.
You chose the best. Absolutely did. Absolutely did.
And so the product is very good.
Yes, product is
so
very good.
So it was a very conscious decision.
Very conscious. Everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. Wow, Archana. You know, confidence can be synonymous with you.
No, I mean, here
Archana can be a synonym.
As an actor, as a dancer, you know, as a law graduate, or one who is equally well qualified in the other areas, which is considered more materialistic areas of knowledge, whereas arts are more creative areas.
Correct.
And here is the partner who is exceptionally brilliant in his field of pharma.
Yes.
I mean, in fact, I should share something very interesting incidents here, that after we got married, within 10-15 days, I mean, we were supposed to come back to US, and of course I was still performing everywhere, and I got a call from one of the officer from IDBI. You know what is IDBI? Industrial Development Bank of India.
I've heard about it.
So they give loans to all the industries, and
wow.
companies, corporates. So I got a call from IDBI, and the officer was calling, and he said, "Ma'am, within 3-4 days time," he was saying that we wanted you to perform for us. So it was more like a corporate performance. It was a very high profile corporate performance, and he said, "We cannot think of anybody else." And I said, "No, I can't. I'm going to US." So I just got married, and I said, "I'm going to US." He said, "No, ma'am, aap aisa mat bolo. We cannot think of any other artist, you know, because intellectually the way I connect with any level or cadre of audience, you know, a normal average person, I mean, besides being a dancer, my oratory power had been always equally talked about.
Very.
And so that's why they were approaching me. And I said, "No, I'm not performing. I'm going." And he said, he couldn't say anything. After that, the chairman of IDBI called me.
Wow.
And he was like, "Ma'am, please don't say this. This is a very important function for us." And it was in Taj Hotel, and he said, we would want you to perform. At that time, within 10 days of our marriage, my partner was uske maike gaya tha.
Yes.
So, he was with
दोनों अपने अपने मायके गए थे.
And I was in Mumbai and he was not in Mumbai. So I said, "Give me some time, let me check." So I called him, and I said, because we were planning to take a halt in Europe and then come to US. So I said, I have got such a concert, and if it's okay with you, we can keep our Europe aside, and I can cover this concert, and we can go straight to US.
Wow.
So he said, "Are they paying you anything?" I was like, "Hello, I'm a professional dancer." And that's why they are
exactly
approaching.
Yes.
The question is whether
I want to do it or not.
whether no, because it was not only me now; it was
He's
my
there.
partner also.
Correct.
So I wanted to know whether he's okay with we staying over for a few more days in Mumbai, me performing, and then we going. So he said, "Yeah, okay, you can do it.
Wow.
We can go to US later." And so normally, and that performance happened so that all the delegates of IDBI, delegates of International Monetary Fund,
Wow.
chairman of HSBC, chairman of Citibank,
They were all sitting there?
yes, governor of RBI, all these people. So there were barely 50-75 people
Wow.
in that performance
And all
hall.
most important for somebody like
And
him.
when, because my partner, he was also there, and obviously my mom, my musicians, everybody was there. And when he saw who is sitting, he was
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
you know, bunch of these guys can shake the economy of the whole world.
World.
So I said, "Now did you understand why did I accept this performance?"
Correct. Wow.
And then normally, see, at such corporate performances, whenever artists perform, they perform and they leave, you know. But I was one among those rare artists who would always be invited to stay over and join them for dinner.
Wow.
So I was invited, me, my mom.
With all these people.
Not the musicians.
No,
with them, yes.
Yes. The
And
delegates that came.
With the delegates.
Wow.
And me, Nirmal, and my mother. So all three of us were invited to join them for the dinner. And so after my concert, I just changed, and we were sitting. And obviously, they decide who sits where at such formal
events.
dinners. And by then, I was quite used to attending such very high-profile dinners because I had been performing, you know, for governors and all these high-level functions. So I was sitting, next to me was the chairman of Citibank, then the chairman of HSBC, then the International Monetary Fund, my mom, and all these people. Next to him was Nirmal sitting. And then first the initial complimenting for my performance and all was that done, and then finally and then on the stage actually I announced after my performance that well, all of you should thank my husband because I was not planning to give this performance, but because he agreed, I'm here and performing for you.
That is so sweet.
So they've acknowledged him and thanked him, and then the chairman was, "So young man, what do you do?" As if he was waiting for that one.
Wow, yes, because he needed to be, these are all gold mine for him.
Right. And he
Sitting
just
around him.
went on,
Wow.
I mean, obviously very seriously, he was explaining his work and everything, and the chairman was intently listening to his conversation. And obviously, I mean, at that time he was a struggling scientist trying to make his mark in the world.
Correct.
But when the chairman of Citibank, when he heard him, he turned towards me and he said, do you know, in no time this guy is going to become filthy rich? I said, I know that. He doesn't know it. That's why I got married to him.
Wow.
So, this was like an interesting incident.
Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But you know what is even more interesting, Archana? That it's literally heartening to hear you relate to all this, relive all this with such fondness.
Yes.
Right?
Because these are
That's
beautiful
the
moments.
beauty.
These were beautiful moments,
Correct,
you know.
right?
That you
Just
cherish
because
these moments in your life.
Some things don't go well, some things do. Just doesn't mean you'll have to erase everything.
No, these are beautiful moments and they are very precious for me.
That is so, so, so beautiful. Archana, this was really the most heartening thing out of all for me, you know, because I know you're a confident woman and but I didn't know the heights of confidence and your independent spirit and, you know, faith and dedication and passion and understanding and clarity and all these things. No, I don't think anybody has a clue. You know, you're a nice girl. I mean, your image is about a very good girl, right? I think that is something that will stay forever, right? You're a very good girl, a fabulous dancer, right? I mean, these are the things that come to mind automatically for people, right? That is what the world actually knows you by. And I have a feeling that what you shared with us today is so much more stronger than everything else that people have actually seen, right? This real beauty of you. What we were talking about, you know, your hazel green eyes and your looks and all that, but your beauty of your mind, the beauty of your heart.
I feel that inside, I feel I'm much more better.
Terrific
than
is
outside.
the word. I mean, picture perfect inside.
I feel it's purity. It's purity, clarity.
Clarity, purity, yes.
And that's why I feel that I can still be a little girl at heart, because there are no vices. There are no baseless egos. I mean, when I see those who have achieved literally 0.0000001% of what I have done in my life, and when I see them bloating high and throwing air around, I was like, what?
I know.
You know,
but you know what, Archana, in the recent times I've realized something. This is a recent thing that I'm still working on in my mind, okay? Like, I love to understand things. I love to understand people, circumstances. Everybody's circumstances interest me because I feel you never know. You know, it can happen to anybody, anytime. And I always like to understand it. And recently I'm thinking that I don't know how right I am yet, but I'm on my job. It's a work in progress, okay? What I'm understanding is people who are insecure for whatever reason.
No, I feel foremost, we should not decide our feelings or emotions based on the tag of a relationship, but your feelings or the emotions should be individually as a human being, irrespective of the tag.
People have a lot of difficulty doing that, right? They like to put everything into one.
We like to put a tag on everything.
Yes.
You know? I don't like to put tags.
With a friend, it's okay, but if it is a husband, he should not do it.
Like the cover, we decide whether to acknowledge a person based on what that person has dressed. I mean, my biggest growing was at the very initial stage of my career. I was always carelessly dressed person. And I would walk out of our building to just buy a bread or eggs just across the street, even in my pajamas. And early morning, especially those who are going for office and all that, typically if you are in pajamas, they will just think they didn't see you and they will just walk away. And they wouldn't acknowledge. Okay, it didn't make any difference to me, you know.
Exactly.
After I became a huge celebrity and I was written all over, I still walked out in my pajamas. Still in my pajamas. And I would still go out, and just, something like errands, over
Yes, I
there
know
in
what you
India,
mean.
it's just across the road, there is a shop and you
Correct,
just
correct,
buy it
correct,
and you
correct.
come back.
But you know what, Archana, again, to come back to
No,
what I'm saying, confidence.
No, mark what I'm saying. My story is incomplete.
Okay.
So those people who literally, to avoid to say good morning, would cross the road and go from that side. Again, I was the same girl. I was in pajamas.
But now
they would cross the road and come up to me.
to you.
Hi Archana, how are you?
Yeah. I hear you.
It didn't make any difference to me.
But for them it did.
For them,
If you're
it
a
made.
star,
Yeah.
then anything is okay.
At the same time, I was not bitter towards them, or I was not judgmental. I would say hi.
It's okay, huh?
That's how.
At that time you didn't say hi, it's okay. Now you're saying hi, it's okay.
It didn't make any difference to me.
True.
I remember once one of my very dear friend who is a casting director who had worked with me for my serial, and she said, Archana, what a serial, what a direction, what a command on technique, how kya cuts lagaye hai. And she said, the world is talking to you, and how you can be just casually walking in the dance class, still bag on your shoulder and all that. So, tu itni grounded kaise rehti hai re? That was her question.
I know what you mean.
And I said, मेरे अंदर क्या बदला? I was always that talented. I said, अभी लोगों को अभी पता चला, पहले नहीं पता चला.
It's their problem, not mine.
So what difference it made to me?
Correct.
I'm the same.
Correct.
Why should I change myself?
That is the power of confidence, is what I'm trying to say. When you're confident, you don't need to put somebody down. You don't need to show
There is no
yourself very
insecurity.
big. Exactly.
There is no insecurity.
No, what I was trying to tell you is, people
Yeah.
who cannot be confident are
Yeah.
the people who look at others down
Because they're
or
insecure.
They're in. That's what
They
I
need
was
that
saying.
hierarchy continuously. Even today, I wouldn't hesitate to
Exactly.
pick up jhadu and put लगाओ तो झाड़ू. ये अभी साफ होना जरूरी है. It doesn't matter who does it.
Exactly.
ये होना जरूरी है. काम के ऊपर टैग नहीं होता है. Even as a producer, I wouldn't hesitate. If I want that clean, I want that clean. Period.
But you know what? Yeah, it's again basic thing is confident people, they can actually think right and straight.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Again, that slight line they say, right? Overconfidence and confidence के बीच में जो होता है,
Yes.
that is a very 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 thin line.
Actually, thin line
Okay.
नहीं पूरी दीवार होती है.
Actually, people say
Because
it's a thin
those who are
line.
overconfident, they
Yes.
don't know what is confidence.
Exactly.
That's why it's not a thin line. It's a whole big brick wall.
Wow, how beautifully said. I never thought about that, Archana. But you're so right, because people who are overconfident
Yeah.
don't know how to be confident. That's why they are overconfident.
Because they don't know what was the real knowledge.
Yes.
That's why whatever little they have, they feel confident about it. Even to date, I feel I can still learn so much.
Yes.
There is so much to
Confidence
learn.
has got nothing to do with thinking that I know it all.
No.
Confidence means I can take onus of everything
Exactly.
and anything about me.
Yep.
Right? You people can call me bad. I'll still handle it. You people want to call me good. It's okay. I can still handle. That is what is confident. Doesn't mean I am a superstar.
Even when I came in this country,
you doesn't have to be a superstar.
Especially those who migrated here like 25, 30, 40 years back, especially among them, comparatively those who migrated just like 5, 10 years back, they are little more Indian because now the community is pretty big.
Yeah.
But those who came earlier, they have serious issues if at all you address them as uncle or aunts.
Yes, I've seen that.
Oh, call me Nina, call me Meena,
yeah,
call
yeah,
me this,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, I've
I mean,
seen
call
that.
me by single name.
Exactly.
ये uncle auntie क्या होता है?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it's
I
not
find
like
it-
you're trying to keep a tag on their age,
It's
but it is
respect,
the love
right?
and respect.
Respect and love.
लेकिन
So
वो
true.
भी वो अगर
They are not able to accept it.
हाँ मतलब इतना कैसे कल्चर पीछे छोड़ के आ गए?
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
कि हमारे कल्चर में उस जमाने में 12 साल की उम्र में अगर शादियां होती थी,
Exactly.
तो 20 साल में वो माँ होती थी, 40 साल में वो तो नानी भी हो जाती थी.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so I mean, how come it makes difference?
So true.
I mean, if anybody calls me anything, how is that going to change me?
Nothing at all. Can't
But that only shows that what that person feels about you. But you stay young in your head. That's
Yeah,
what matters.
yeah.
That's what I meant by stay 21 forever.
Very true. Very true.
I don't
Archana.
care if anybody calls me Nani.
I don't.
Okay, I'm a beautiful 21-year-old Nani.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Archana, I can't believe it that I've met you so many times, known so many things about you, but you see the real person.
Yes.
It's very difficult to...
Because we never sat like this and talked like this.
Yes, and not just we. We don't get to talk to anybody usually like that. I think, Archana, that's what's the problem. मुझे लगता है, you know, I came to sit on this chair with just that one thought, because I don't know anything else, Archana.
Right.
I'm not great in anything, and I'm not even like a Babaji or somebody that I want to help people or do seva. I'm not even that, all right? I'm just an ordinary human being, okay, that has compassion for everybody around me. I sincerely
But because
care.
of this program, you get to interact with so many people.
Exactly. And what I'm thinking is
beautiful.
that just this journey, you know, just talking about your life, your thoughts, your perspectives, how much knowledge this is. For everything else, there is knowledge. There are books. There are so many things.
See, people mostly grossly misinterpret information into knowledge.
Yeah.
There is difference between information and knowledge.
Knowledge,
if it is there, it is there.
It is there forever. You know, like, I know exactly what you're saying, okay, but that's so beautiful. Knowledge, information. I'll remember now, all right, to differentiate that, right? So good you are. My goodness. So this is my attempt, Archana, all right? This little attempt
To
of mine.
peep in my life a little bit.
Yes. And for it to help so many people, including me. You know,
I'm glad if I
including
have helped
me.
you in any way.
Oh, a lot. You know, perspectives.
Yes.
They are huge.
Yes.
Okay, they're so important for everybody. The way you talked about motherhood.
Yeah.
All right. It's not as if we don't know about these things. Confidence. All right. You know, marriage, breakups. You know, all these are part of life.
Yes.
Some people are handling them better than the others.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying, right? But we don't know why they are doing it so well and why these are not. Okay, everybody just thinks they're lucky. Or they are not lucky. It's not luck.
That's how you take it.
How you take it,
and how you treat
work
it.
on it, and how you treat it. Yes, how you treat it and how you consciously, you know, take the onus for everything about your life, right? And you have shown it in such beauty that, you know, though with you, I could not really go through the whole story step by step like I used to do
उसके लिए
it.
TV serial बनानी
बनाना
बड़ी सी।
पड़ेगा शायद बनाना चाहिए, you know, why not? But I tell you, Archana, your life is so beautiful, so full of you know, positivity, confidence, energy, passion, love, compassion.
I believe in thinking and keeping positive
basics
energy.
of life.
Yes.
And they're just basics of life.
Absolutely. You
And
have to keep
every
that.
individual has them.
Yes.
All right. If we let them come to our forefront and use them all, I think we can all live happily like this through every kind of journey.
mean, whatever situation you are in it, always look what is the positive side of that situation.
Correct.
Don't look at the negative side.
Yeah.
इसमें से अच्छा क्या निकल रहा है वो देखो
जरूर
वो
निकलता है,
सोचो।
right?
हर एक
आपने
situation
कितनी
में
चीजें बताई अभी,
Yes.
you know, out
Yes.
of your marriage. So many good things,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
many good things. You respect that person as an intelligent man
Absolutely.
that is par excellence,
Absolutely.
right? And so ambitious and
Yes.
all those things. That's why you said
Yes.
he's got fantastic genes.
Yeah.
Right? What you really wanted, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that is fantastic genes, right? Two people can't get along with each other. Okay, people have different
It's
priorities.
okay, you grow apart.
You
I mean,
grow up,
sometimes,
yes.
you know, like I had once, I mean, being a technician also, I had explained once to one of my subordinate that in a sound studio, you know, there is a sound mixer.
Yeah.
And there are channels. Like, you know, every track, every instrument,
Has to
chorus, solo,
correct.
violins, you know, everything has different tracks.
Yeah.
You know, the percussion and
Balancing all that.
the sound guy is when you start recording, you know, he balances. You know, like now this goes up and this goes down, or this goes up and then this balance, you know. So if something goes up, something comes down. Something has to come down
Wow. To make it perfect.
to keep the balance. And
Keep
that
the
applies to
balance.
our lives too.
Our lives too. Wow. Yeah.
And that is what keeps the balance.
Wow.
So we have to acknowledge
So it's
that.
perfect to have life going like this. Right? Beautiful.
And that is what keeps the balance.
A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to Jessie Randhawa. You know her, right? The model. Jessie Randhawa.
Maybe by
Maybe,
face I
yeah,
will recognize
by face you
her.
will recognize, right? But I was speaking with her and she said, life should be like this. You know, only then, you know,
Yeah.
you learn
Both.
everything,
Yeah.
and then really take in what is really important to you. And whatever bad happens is also wonderful, because it teaches you so much only if you want to learn,
Yes. Yes.
right?
No, but that's what I said, that even you're on the lower side,
Yeah.
even
There
in
is an
that lower side, you should continue to do the right things and the positive
What
things.
you believe, that's enough.
Yes. And that itself is building your upper side.
Correct. On the other side.
Yes.
Wow.
That's how it should be.
Beautiful, Archana. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It was really, really, really a privilege, you know, sitting down with you and being able to talk to you and learn so much from you. You know, lessons of life,
Yes.
right? You're teaching them as beautifully as you teach your dance. Or even
I
better.
wasn't teaching, I
Or
was just
even
sharing.
better, you know, unknowingly, right? I mean, you just dance and they learn, right? So like that, you just spoke and we learned, and it was fantastic, okay? Thank you so, 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 so much. I love you more now, okay?
my pleasure,
To
pleasure.
the
All my
limits now.
pleasure.
I mean, I've so much of respect, you know, so much of respect for an individual like this, all right? God bless you. Your mom and dad would be so proud of you.
They still are there.
Yeah. Everybody would be always proud of you. Everybody. Thank you. All
My
right.
pleasure.
Who knows? I would want you to come back again to help me talk about some things that I
Sure.
so strongly believe in, and I see that you believe them so much more stronger, and you've understood them so much more. So yeah, all this can be so much helpful for a lot of people,
Right.
and let's see what we can do more
Sure.
together. But thank you so much.
My
Okay.
pleasure.
Well, everybody, this was one of the United Voice of Women that would be actually shown in 2 parts, because we could not do it in 1 part. There was no way we could do that. So I'll just say, I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did, and I can't wait to see you again next week, and yes, with another beautiful journey. Until then, I want you to take care, be good, keep smiling, and remember that I love you.